Everybody, hope you are doing good. It's FlutterFlow sample time on YouTube, and in this little sample which you are free to download, I'm going to provide a code in the video, so please do grab that code. Please do check the link in the description, claim the code, and it will allow you then to download this particular sample into FlutterFlow. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just demonstrate how this component works. This is a reusable component, and it allows you to create a custom list of kind of checkbox items, which you can then sort of check and sort of select and unselect. And of course, the items can then be persisted in a page state variable somewhere else on your page. So it just makes it a nice reusable component. So we're going to kind of set up a list of items. We're going to pass that into the component. The component is going to then display that visually. And as you check, we're going to see kind of like an event that will be fired back into the kind of the parent page, and we'll pass those values back to your parent page. So it's just a great way to give you a good starting point for this reusable component. And of course, you can use this particular technique in many different types of applications. So let's now get into it then. So as you can see here on the home page, I've got this kind of checkbox custom component here, and I've got a list down here of checked items. So as I make adjustments, as I kind of select and unselect these, then I'm going to see the ones that I select in the bottom bit here. And I can demonstrate that in the simulator here on the right hand side. So if I now select sort of orange and sort of pear and lemon, you can see that they're kind of listed here. And as I kind of uncheck these, and then of course they're removed. So it's a super simple example, but of course there's quite a bit going on behind the scenes with this. And no doubt you're watching this video because you want to learn FlutterFlow. So let's walk through the implementation. So what the first thing that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have some page state variables. So here I've got a checklist items, and I got a selected checklist item. So it's pretty obvious what they are doing. So of course this is going to keep track of the ones that I select, and this is going to be a list that I'm going to firstly build up and populate with my orange, my lemon, and my pear, etc. And I'm going to pass that list into a component parameter. Obviously, that's then going to get displayed within inside this reusable component. So how do we now populate this particular list? Well, I'm doing this on the kind of the home page on the first event that kind of will get fired up. So let's have a look at the actions here on the on-page load event here. What I've got is, don't worry about this particular one here, because this is really just kind of tracking the page change. If I just go down here and just click on my Academy logo, things just kind of change, but I'll keep it in dark mode. But this is kind of where the magic happens here. So I've got the update page state here, and all I'm simply doing is I'm adding to the list. Now I've got this a custom data type, which is really just going to kind of keep track of like a value and a title. And I'll quickly show that. Let me come out of here, because maybe I should have shown that to you just a moment ago. So here I've got a data type here, and this is called a check item, and it's a title and a value. So of course there's no default values here. So if I now go back here and go back into that on page load event and click on the first one, and then look at this is the add to list here, and of course here I'm setting the checklist items here. So it's an update page state, and then here I'll add to list, and if I go in here, this is where I'm creating this data type object, and you can see here that I'm setting the title, and this is going to be hard coded orange, and then the value is just going to be 1. And that's all that I need to do. And I'm just kind of copied that and pasted all of these here. And all I've done is I simply just changed the kind of the title to a lemon, and then the value to then a 2. And of course, I've done the same thing here with then the rest of them, a pear, and then a value of 3. And of course, I've got the other ones in there as well, which is the grape and the banana. So that is all I'm doing there. That kind of sets itself up quite nicely. It gets our page state variable fully loaded up with items. Let's now look at how we set up our component to take receipt of that checklist items. Okay, so let's look at the component. It's the checkbox selection component here, and here it is. It's really quite simple. We can see we've got a container here, which is kind of just a wrapper here for then the column, and the column is really kind of got some dynamic children, and the dynamic children of course are going to be the items that I'm passing into it. So where do they come from? Well, if I go up to component parameters here, you can see I've got this checklist items, and that is that page state variable that we pre-populated just a moment ago, which I'm passing into this component. And of course you can edit this here, and of course you can inspect this a little bit more here, and it's going to be a checklist items. It's going to be of type data type, and it's a list, and the data type is the check item data type, and I've only got one here as I'd shown just a moment ago. And of course, then I've got this on change callback action. Now, this is going to be really, really important here because, of course, as I'm making changes to the selected items, as I'm kind of selecting or then unchecking, I should say actually checking and unchecking, I'll get the terminology right, then what's happening is I'm kind of then firing this kind of this action, this kind of event here, which is really going to then take the selected items and then pass that back into the parent page. And then I'm just going to kind of grab hold of those within the parent page and then display that in the list that's just at the bottom here. So that's this one just here. So we'll come back to that in just a second. Let me just close that down. So these are my parameters, and sorry, just so I can show you, this one is of type action, which is super important. I'll show you where we pick that up from in just a moment. I'll just cancel that. And then what I've also then got is I've got a component state variable, which is a part of this particular component. And remember, component state variables are only around for the life of the actual component itself. So you can see here that I'm just keeping this as a list of trackable, selectable items that's actually within inside this particular list here. So as I check this, I'm going to then add this particular one into that selected checklist items, and as I uncheck, then I'm going to be removing it from this particular list. But of course, as I make changes here, I'm always going to be firing that event that I just explained on the component parameters with this list that's going to kind of go back. So this is just a local state variable that's going to kind of just keep a track of those particular items. And you can see it's exactly the same. It's a data type, it is a list, and it's of the data type check item. So that is good. So let's have a now look at this particular list then. So you can see here that I've got my my column here, and you can see here that this has got the dynamic children. If I now look at those dynamic children, now each of my variables here is called a checklist item. Now, this checklist item represents every single one that we have in this particular list here. And of course, the values are coming from the checklist items. Now, if I just select that, you can see here that the checklist items, of course, is coming from the component parameter, the values that I'm kind of passing in. These are kind of all of my values that's kind of coming in. So I set these on the parent page. I've got 5 of them. I'm going to be passing all 5 of those into this particular component. And of course, that is therefore what is then going to list all of them at this particular point here. So I just cancel that. So that's kind of almost like a bit of a one-way trip, really. I'm just kind of loading up this particular component with each of those particular items. That is all good. So that's going to get those all displayed. Now, of course, where does all of the magic happen? We've got this row here, and then we've got a checkbox here. Now, of course, as I make changes to this checkbox, we're going to then do what I said previously. We're going to kind of now keep a track. We're going to kind of add to our component state variable, and we're going to remove from our component state variable. So how does that happen? Well, the checkbox widget within inside FlutterFlow exposes us with 2 particular events, and one is an on toggled on and one is an on toggled off. So let's go into each of these. Let's have a look. So this is the on toggle off, and you can see here that with the first thing that all we're simply going to do is update the component state here. Now the component state is our selected checklist items, which I've just shown you. And here what we're going to do is we are going to add to the list. So this is going to represent that check. So I select it and I'm going to add it to the list. And the value that I'm going to add is the checklist item itself. This is the item that's represented that I'm actually selecting. Okay, so that's super important. Of course, you can see that here. It's the actual variable, and the variable would come from the checklist item itself here. So this is the one that I'm selecting. So that's all good. And we can see that what we're going to do is we're going to add it to the list, and then we're going to execute that callback. Now, this is quite important. This is executing that component parameter that we had. And I'm going to pass back the selected checklist items. This is the component state variable that we're keeping a track of all of what we add. So we're going to add it to the list. And then, of course, we're going to pass that list back to the parent page. And then we'll pick that up, and I'll show you that very shortly where we're picking that up from the parent page itself. So that is good. Now, of course, then we've got the on toggled off. So we're going to simply now be removing from the component state variable. So again, same kind of thing here, updating the component state, removing from the list, and it's that checklist item that we're going to be removing. And of course, we're going to execute the callback. This is exactly the same as the action that we've got on the on toggled on. We're always going to want to send that list back to the parent page. That is as easy as it comes. So this is all nicely reusable. We've got a reusable list that we can pass, and we can pass in any number of items into this particular component. This component doesn't need to know anything about the outside world and only deal with what we're passing in and what we're going to send back out to the parent page. So that is all good. Like I said, explore the sample, have a look for yourself, and you'll get a feel to kind of how this works. Now, if I now go back to the home page, there's one really last important bit that I need to demonstrate, and that is on the actual component itself. So if I just scroll down here, how do we set up our component to pass in our initial set of checklist items? Well, quite simply here, the component parameters are exposed at this particular point. So as soon as we add our component to the FlutterFlow page, we can then, of course, set up these component parameters. And as we saw just a moment ago, we've got two. We've got the items that we're going to pass in, and then we've got this on-change callback action. So as I'm making the changes within inside each of these here, then of course what I'm doing is I'm firing that event off and from the component itself. And then here on the parent page, I need to take receipt of what I'm sending back from the component into my parent page. So if I now edit this here, you can see I've got something very, very simple. All I'm doing is updating the page state here. So the page state, as we know that we had this selected checklist items, this is where we're tracking the ones that are selected here. And all I'm doing is I'm simply setting the value. And you can see here the selected checklist here is an action parameter. If I just edit that, you can see I've got this callback parameter, and here is the available option that we have. This is the selected checklist because it is a callback parameter. So by selecting that, that's all good. We've got that. And of course, I'm now going to set that on my parent page. And in true Flutter fashion, of course, we're inside FlutterFlow. As I'm changing all of this, the state is therefore updating on the parent page. And this is then how this particular list then gets populated here. And it's all done very, very similar to what we had up here. We've got a column here. This has dynamic children as well. And if I go up to the dynamic children option here, you can see I'm just saying selected item. I'm just giving it a unique name, and I'm just pulling the values here from the selected checklist items, which, as we know, is our page state variable on this particular page. So there we go. That is how simple this particular example is. I don't really need to explain anything more. There's nothing more to really show you here. It is really, really simple. Please do the code that you've seen in this particular video. Please do download this sample, explore for yourself. And this is a really, really key technique. And funny enough, it's actually a really simple example, but with inside FlutterFlow itself, this is the sort of stuff that you would be doing quite a lot for outside your application. Now, of course, just one other point to mention here, this is a kind of a local application. It's not using any databases or anything like that, but this particular example can easily be adapted to pass in maybe Supabase rows or Firebase rows into a reusable component where you can pass in values, and then you can do something very, very similar so long as the data types are set. Instead of them being like a custom data type in this case, it would be like a row from one of the respective tables that you would have coming in from your database. So of course, if you are looking for a sample with as that an example, and you want me to kind of adapt this for that, then please do leave me a comment in the notes here, and of course I'll pick that up and I'll see if there's like a need to want to have that, and of course I'm more than happy to put a sample together for that as well. So there we go. So hopefully you found this particular video useful. Again, like I said, I enjoy reading all of your comments. Please do put those into the comments, and I'll read those accordingly. And if you like the video, please do hit the like button. Of course, if you're not a member of my kind of academy with inside the YouTube channel there, please do hit the subscribe button as well. So there we go. Until the next video, I'll see you soon.